what's going on over there. It's soldiers are being killed by the thousands on a weekly basis. A lot of Koreans have been killed, as you know. They came over to fight, and a large portion have been wiped out. But we want to end it. It's a senseless war.
Do you have any message for Ukrainians who, after 3 years of fighting, might feel betrayed or disappointed at not having a seat at these initial talks in Saudi Arabia?
Ukraine? Well, we have martial law, essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating. President 젤렌스키 said last week that he doesn't know where half of the money is that we gave him. Well, but today I heard, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it.
Probably. Do you have a date in mind?
It's positive, upbeat, constructive.
Great honor to be with President Putin, his representative.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the Russia talks, your impression of how they went today, and if you're perhaps more confident or less confident of a deal after what happened today?
Well, much more confident. They were very good. Russia wants to do something. They want to stop the savage barbarianism. What's going on over there? It's soldiers are being killed by the thousands on a weekly basis. It's ridiculous. And they're not American soldiers. They're Russian soldiers, and they're Ukrainian soldiers largely, although a lot of Koreans have been killed, as you know. Quite a bit of them have been killed. This could even end up in a world where, people are tired of it. People want to see something happen.
President Trump, as part of a peace deal with Putin, would you be willing to consider removing all American troops from Europe?
Well, nobody's asked me to do that, so I don't think we'd have to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. But that question's never really come up.
Sir, do you support stationing European peacekeeping troops in Ukraine as part of this peace deal?
If they want to do that, that's great. I'm all for it. If they want to do that. I know France has mentioned it. Others have mentioned it. UK has mentioned it. But, if we have a peace deal, I think having troops over there from the standpoint of Europe, we won't have to put any over there because, we're very far away.
Do you have any message for Ukrainians who, after 3 years of fighting, might feel betrayed or disappointed at not having a seat at these initial talks in Saudi Arabia?
I've been watching this for 3 years. It's a war that would have never happened if I was president. And I hear that, they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years and a long time before that. This could have been settled very easily. We weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land.
I wanted very much that Ukraine is in priority for Trump, not Russia.
We're hearing that Russia wants to force Ukraine to hold new elections in order to sign any kind of a peace deal. Is that something that the U.S. would ever support?
Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating, and where a country has been blown to smithereens. And if they wanted to do it 100%, it would probably happen very quickly. And Zelensky's at 4%. Who's living there? It's hard to believe that people live there. Their cities are being knocked down. Absolutely decimated. And I would say that, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also.
How would you guard against potentially Russia installing a puppet government and then...
And I like him personally. He's fine. But I don't care about personally. I care about getting the job done. You have leadership now that's allowed a war to go on that should have never even happened, even without the United States. I believe President 젤렌스키 said last week that he doesn't know where half of the money is that we gave him. Well, we gave them, I believe, $350 billion, but let's say it's something less than that, but it's a lot. But where is all the money that's been given? Where is it going? And nobody, I've never seen an accounting of it.
военной операции.
Спасибо всем, кто сказал «да»